and this is a special episode of Explained by NewsX. Sheikh Hasina's 15-year consecutive rule over Bangladesh has ended as protesters stormed her residence. Shocking scenes from Dhaka made headlines as protesters defied a military curfew to march into the capital's centre. As troops pulled back and internet access was restored, there were tens and thousands of people who began to celebrate on the streets following her resignation. Forced to flee the country, Sheikh Hasina has taken refuge in India for the time being as she plans her next move. Now, following Sheikh Hasina's ouster, Bangladesh President Muhammad has promptly announced the dissolution of Bangladesh Parliament and the formation of an interim government to take charge. Now, extensive talks have taken place between President Shahabuddin, the military chiefs, the organizers of the protests, prominent business leaders and the civil society members. There were 27 names that were proposed to be included in the interim government. This will be helmed by Muhammad Yunus. What's interesting is that the 84-year-old is a long-time political foe of Sheikh Hasina. The third of the 9 children, Muhammad Yunus, was born on 28 June 1940 in the Chittagong district of Bangladesh Presidency, in British India. He spent much of his early childhood in Batua village, and during his school years, he was an active Boy Scout and travelled to West Pakistan and India in 1952 and then to Canada in 1955. In 1957, he enrolled in the Department of Economics at Dhaka University. Described as a prodigy, he went on to obtain a bachelor's and a master's degree. After his graduation, Yunus joined the Bureau of Economics as a research assistant to Nurul Islam and Reham Shoban. In 1965, he received a Fulbright scholarship to study in the United States of America, where he obtained his PhD in economics from Vanderbilt University graduate program in economic development. However, horrors were unleashed by the Pakistani establishment against Bengalis in the year he graduated. After the war, he returned to Bangladesh and joined Chittagong University as the head of economics department. There, Yunus and his associates proposed the Gram Sarkar, or the village government program. Now, this was a pivotal moment as it set him on his path to ideating his concept of microcredit for supporting innovators. Now, consider his magnum opus. The idea sprung from his visits to the poorest of the households in the village of Jobra near Chittagong University back in 1976. And there, Yunus discovered that very small loans could actually make a disproportionate difference to a poor person. Yunus lent $27 to 42 women in this village who made a profit of $0.02 each on the loan provided to them. He continued to operate in this manner, securing loans from other banks to the poor. And by 1982, his project had 28,000 members. And the very next year, in 1983, his pilot project began operation as a full-fledged bank for poor Bangladeshis and was renamed Grameen Bank. By July 2007, the Grameen Bank had issued $6.38 billion to 7.4 million borrowers. For this project and for the pioneering concepts of microcredit and microfinancing, Nobel Committee awarded the Peace Prize to Yunus. But things do not seem to be running as they seem. Now, there has been an explosive investigation by Tom Heinemann in 2010, which revealed that how the microcredit loan takers were trapped in a vicious circle. Most of them had numerous loans in various NGOs and microfinance institutions, and many took new loans to cover the old ones. They paid annual interest rates ranging from 30 to 200% and were under extreme social pressure from the other members of their groups, not to mention how the loan officers would behave when it came to defaulting a single weekly payment. The investigation made public a number of secret documents which detailed how Muhammad Yunus back in the 1990s transferred $100 million to a new company in the Grameen family in order to save tax in the future. Most of this money was donated as grants from Norway, Sweden, Germany, US and Canada. Following this reveal, in 2011, Bangladesh's government-controlled central bank removed Muhammad Yunus as the managing director of Grameen Bank. Multiple legal cases were slapped against him. These included a defamation suit, a food safety case and allegations of tax irregularities. In January this year, a court in Bangladesh sentenced Muhammad Yunus to 6 months in prison for labor law violations. He managed to secure bail but still faces more than 100 cases regarding the siphoning of money from the people of Bangladesh. In one such separate case, he was indicted in June on embezzlement charges. Muhammad Yunus was accused of laundering 250 million takas, which is about $2 million, from the Workers' Welfare Fund of Grameen Telecom. Muhammad Yunus has vehemently denied all these charges against him, maintaining his innocence. With the abrupt change in the leadership of the Bangladeshi establishment, Muhammad Yunus is back to Dhaka from Paris to take charge of affairs in the nation. However, could the coup that has taken place in Bangladesh have happened without tacit American acceptance? America has expressed strong disapproval of Sheikh Hasina's reign in Bangladesh over the last 15 years. Even post the elections in January this year, the US Department of State said that the election was not free and fair and expressed regret that not all parties participated. Now, a very vocal critic of Hasina has been appointed de facto ruler. Is there a hidden hand involved? Regardless of that, Yunus's political connections in the United States of America are under scrutiny. His links to the influential Clinton family, particularly from the US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, are now in focus. She has repeatedly endorsed Yunus's Grameen Bank project. And in 1995, while she was the First Lady of the United States of America, she went to Bangladesh to adopt a village by the name of Rishipara. It is known as the Hillary Village. The residents of the village have tales of woe to share. They gained nothing but debt due to microcredit. They had a hard time trying to pay back their loans. Some even sold their houses, while others had tin sheets pulled off their houses to cover the weekly payments. As Bangladesh's future hangs in limbo and uncertainties linger, one thing is certain: stability in Bangladesh is going to be a difficult task for Muhammad Yunus.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.